It usually happens at night. Your phone lights up. You open your bank app. You stare at the number you worked so hard to save. And instead of feeling proud, you feel uneasy. You did what you were told. You skipped things. You delayed joy. You saved responsibly. So why does it still feel like one bad month could wipe everything out? That's the quiet moment nobody talks about. It's the moment you start to wonder if something is off. Not with you, but with the advice. That's when a strange thought slips in. What if I need to stop saving money like the poor and start saving like rich people in 2026? Not because you want yachts or private jets, but because you want peace, control, options. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people save in a way that feels safe, but actually keeps them stuck. And the rich? They play a completely different game, one that almost nobody explains. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. The biggest lie about saving sounds polite, responsible, even loving. Just save more money and you'll be fine. You heard it from parents, teachers, old finance books written for a world that no longer exists. A world where prices rose slowly, jobs lasted decades, and cash quietly held its value. But you are living in a different economy. After inflation shocks, rate swings, and constant uncertainty, saving the old way feels heavier. You do everything right, yet the finish line keeps moving. The lie isn't that saving is bad. The lie is that saving alone is enough. That advice trained people to treat money like something fragile. Hide it, lock it away, don't touch it. It rewarded sacrifice, not strategy. Fear, not positioning. In 2026, money doesn't disappear loudly. It fades. It loses power while sitting still. And no one warns you because the number on the screen doesn't drop. It just stops working as hard for you. This is why so many disciplined savers feel behind, while others with less cash feel oddly secure. You weren't irresponsible. You weren't lazy. You were playing by rules designed for yesterday, and today demands a new one. Imagine two people in the same city earning the same income, starting the same year. Alex saves the right way. Every month, money goes into a single savings account. Alex avoids risks, delays upgrades, and feels proud watching the balance slowly grow. It feels safe, quiet, responsible. Jordan saves differently. Not more, just differently. Some money is kept close for peace of mind. Some is kept ready, not for emergencies, but for moments. And some is placed where time can actually do something with it. 5 years pass. Alex has a bigger number, but feels tense. One surprise expense creates panic. Every decision feels expensive. Money is there, yet it feels trapped. Jordan has fewer idle dollars, but more calm. When opportunities show up, a career move, a smart purchase, a sudden shift, there's room to move. No scrambling, no stress. Same income, same discipline. The difference isn't luck or intelligence. It's how the saving was designed. One saver stored money to avoid fear. The other saved money to stay flexible. And in 2026, flexibility quietly beats comfort every time. The real difference, poor saving versus rich saving. This is where most people get uncomfortable. So let's be clear. Poor saving isn't about income. It's about mindset. Poor saving is driven by fear. It asks, what if something goes wrong? So money gets locked away, untouched, and overprotected. The goal is survival. Don't lose. Don't move. Don't mess up. It feels responsible, but it quietly limits you. Rich saving works from a different question. What if something goes right? Instead of hiding money, rich savers position it. They separate money by purpose, not emotion. One pile is for peace. Another is for opportunity. Another is for the future to quietly grow without daily attention. Poor saving celebrates restriction, fewer experiences, delayed life, constant guilt. Rich saving protects energy. It removes stress. It creates options. Here's the key shift you need to hear. Rich people don't save to feel safe. They save to stay powerful. Power doesn't mean control over others. It means control over time, choices, and reactions. It means you can say no without fear. And yes, without panic. In 2026, money that only sits is money that only waits. Money that's positioned can move when you need it to. Once saving stops being about fear, it becomes something else entirely. Leverage. The 2026 shift. Why cash alone is no longer safe. For a long time, cash felt like protection. If money sat untouched, you felt prepared. But 2026 changed that definition. After years of inflation shocks and economic whiplash, cash no longer fails loudly. It fails quietly. The number stays the same, but what it can do keeps shrinking. Groceries cost more. Housing stretches further. Even normal months feel expensive. Here's what most people miss. Safety is no longer about stillness. It's about adaptability. Rich savers understand something simple. Money that can't move is a risk. Not because it disappears, but because it can't respond. It can't catch opportunities. It can't soften surprises. It can't change direction when life does. That's why the wealthy don't ask, where should I park my cash? They ask, how quickly can this money support me if life shifts? Cash still matters, but only as part of a system. When money is positioned instead of parked, you stop fearing change. You start being ready for it. Almost nobody explains this clearly. Rich people don't save in one place. They never have. They use a system, even if they don't call it that. Think of saving as 3 layers, each with a job. The first layer is the shock absorber. Not just an emergency fund, peace of mind money. It stops panic before it starts. The second layer is the opportunity layer. This is where rich savers quietly separate themselves. This money waits for moments, not disasters. Career moves, smart timing, strategic choices. The third layer is future leverage. Money designed to grow patiently, without daily emotion. It works while you live. What makes this powerful isn't the amount, it's the design. Each layer reduces stress instead of creating it. Together, they turn saving from a chore into a support system. You don't need more discipline. You need clarity. Why budgeting feels hard, and why rich people rarely obsess over it. Budgeting feels hard because it fights how you actually live. Most budgets demand constant attention. Track this. Cut that. Feel guilty when life happens. It turns money into a daily argument in your head. No wonder it breaks. Rich people understand something simple. Willpower is expensive. Instead of managing every dollar, they design systems that work automatically. Money moves before emotions get involved. Saving happens without daily decisions. Spending doesn't feel like failure. It feels planned. This is why rich savers rarely obsess over budgets. They don't need to. Their structure does the heavy lifting. Budgets rely on discipline. Systems rely on design. In 2026, life moves fast. Income changes. Expenses shift. Rigid rules crack under pressure. Flexible systems adapt. If saving feels exhausting, it's not because you lack control. It's because you were taught to manage money manually in an automated world. Once the system is right, budgeting stops feeling like punishment and starts feeling invisible. So let me ask you something slowly. What if saving was never meant to feel like sacrifice? What if it wasn't about saying no to life today, but saying yes to choices tomorrow? What if the real goal of saving wasn't safety, but freedom? When you stop asking, how much can I lock away? And start asking, how much flexibility can I create? Everything about money changes. How you start saving like the rich in 2026. Without feeling rich yet. Here's the part that surprises most people. Saving like the rich doesn't start with more money. It starts with moving money differently. Instead of saving what's left over, rich savers decide first. Before spending, before emotions, before excuses, money gets assigned a role the moment it arrives. The first shift is simple. Separate your money by purpose, not by hope. One place for calm, one place for flexibility, one place for growth. When each dollar has a job, you stop pulling from the wrong pile at the wrong time. The second shift is friction. Make spending slightly harder and saving slightly easier. Not extreme, just enough to slow impulse and speed intention. The third shift is automation. Not fixed amounts that break when life changes, but rules that adapt. Percentages, priorities, triggers. This isn't about perfection. It's about positioning. You don't rise by forcing yourself to save more every month. You rise by designing a system that works even when motivation disappears. That's how rich habits are built, quietly early, and before you feel ready. Picture that quiet night again. You open your phone. You check your money. This time, your chest doesn't tighten. There's no mental scramble. You know where your money is, what it's doing, and why it's there. That's when it clicks. Wealth was never about a number. It was about calm, options, control. Saving like the rich in 2026 isn't about becoming someone else. It's about becoming harder to break. When your money is positioned instead of hidden, life feels lighter. Decisions feel clearer. The future stops feeling threatening. That's the real upgrade. Not more money, but more control over how you live. Now, if you want to learn how to achieve financial success, then watch this video next.